Episode 69, RP Strength.
Why gotta be 69?
Well, you just planned it out right, I guess.
did not plan it out. I didn't think I was going to go on a podcast.
We were just discussing a workout that we did yesterday and how some people not cheated, definitely didn't cheat.
No, there's
but they didn't. The point of the workout is
max rope
climbs.
Ugh.
So what was it? 20 cals on?
It's 20 cals on the Echo bike.
15 for women.
15, sorry.
5 for
12
women.
or 11
5,
for women,
yeah.
whatever
5
you
for
guys do.
women.
A lot less. And then 15 burpee box get-overs at 42 inches.
Yeah, the boxes
I think that was
48
48. That was
48
not
inches.
42.
It was 48 inches, right? It's 48 because it's
I thought it was 46. No, 48?
48.
It was 48.
It feels like it's getting taller. I don't know how. It does.
I think when we box jump, it's 42.
Yes.
I think when we
'Cause we're
burpee box
36.
jump over, it's 48.
Yes.
But anyway, the workout was it was 4
Echo
minutes,
bike,
right?
Yeah.
4 minutes to get max rope climbs. And so
The buy-in
was essentially the
20
first
and
part.
15.
And I was commenting on how Haley went so fast on the bike and the
burpee box
jump overs and would get 4 rope climbs. I was pissed because I'd have to push hard on the burpees not to let her
You
beat
did not
me.
have to push.
Yes, I have to. And
Well, your
then she would do
problems.
4 rope climbs. I was just like, slow down a little bit and do one more rope climb. But anyway, that's
Where are you holding on the Echo bike? What's your...
it was like 470 something ish. There was a couple times it was like 490. I was talking to Chase and he was like, I was over 500, but then he was getting like 4 and 5 rope climbs. I was like, are you guys missing the point of this workout? But I don't know. Lakelyn, this isn't gonna work, babe.
That
well,
was
for
unpleasant.
the scaled version I was trying to do, I was trying to just keep it over 350 on the bike.
Yeah, that's what
Survive, get to 15.
Right?
Just do 15 box get overs, and
Yeah.
then I
Well,
think
the
I was
worst-
getting like 3 rope climbs.
The worst part is there was no like range of rounds, and it was 2 minutes
There's
rest.
never any range of rounds.
Sometimes it says like 5
I
to
said
8.
you guys were the first people
I
to
would've
go.
been good
You
with
guys
one.
could have dropped it down and said 4-minute rest, but you didn't.
Well, I
That
thought
was
you.
on
I
you.
thought
When you guys finished and you said
Ooh, this
2
is
minutes is
awkward.
2
Really
minutes is a little
aggressive.
aggressive, and I said, all right, make it 4, and Dre said, nah, 2, and that's what we ended at was 2.
Why does Dre get to make decisions?
Well, we did go with 4 rounds instead of
He's
5
not
because
gonna
I was
defend
about to kill
himself,
someone
right.
if we did 5 rounds.
He always wants to do
I wanted
like
to try
20
to get
rounds.
to 30 rope climbs, so
Well, you could have just done another round.
How
I
many
would've
did you get
watched.
then? How many?
24.
24.
That's
Shoot.
6 every time.
Yeah, I only got 18, and one of them was a little bit after the time. So. Yep, pretty
Didn't
much.
count.
No rep.
But I was up there, so I figured I'd just do it.
Might as well finish it.
One more pull, half a pull, half a pull, because I was at the bottom of that furry
Yeah.
thing. I was at the bottom of the furry thing,
It's
and I'm
like-
like, nah, I'm just gonna go.
Oh, it's however many and a half. Yeah.
Where are you guys trying? Are you trying to get to the top or just above the knot?
I think on legless we just go to the knot, and
Yeah.
then on regular,
Yeah.
I touch the hook.
The black.
Is that
yeah,
what we're
the
supposed to
hook.
touch?
Yeah,
The hook.
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. All I
Yeah.
just know is I'm dying every time that I'm here. Every time I'm here, I'm like, this is going to be such a great idea. I'm so excited to hang out with my friends and like train with people that are really good and all this stuff. And then I see the mountain and I'm like, why am I here? I have so much anxiety. I know how this feels now. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Is there anything specifically that's harder here and
Yeah.
easier when you're home? I mean, is there anything that
Well,
stands
I have
out?
some responsibilities at home. So sometimes I have to.
So for training at home, you have all the
Yes.
responsibilities that go with
Well, no,
the gym.
I mean, I'm very fortunate that like my husband has a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I like work at the gym, but I do a lot of the stuff on the computer.
Right.
I mean, but I do coach classes throughout the day, and sometimes it's like I only have an hour, and this workout could like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like to set up, do it, and stuff. It takes 45 minutes. I don't have time to,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. So I have to like crunch it down a little bit or modify a few things to make it fit. But I don't have that excuse here because I
Yeah.
have like 0 responsibilities except for like maybe getting
Hanging
Trice
out with
out of
the
his
kids,
crib.
yep.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe like build some Lego things.
Yeah, do a
and
little
that's it.
babysitting
Yeah.
and fitness.
So I'm like, well, I don't really have an excuse.
So I have to do it.
Yeah. And I'm like, can I just like run away? Because my body feels like death and everyone else feels fine.
Nobody feels fine. Everybody's
Okay, well,
lying.
they're at like a 2 and I'm at like a 12 out of
more
10.
like a 5 or 6. I don't
So
feel
average.
awful, but yeah, I feel like I've worked out the last 4 days,
That's awesome.
which we have.
Is there anything training-wise that you do here that you don't do at home? Is there any sort of...
Yeah, I mean, like, so my gym has really low ceilings. And so I don't really rope climb very much.
You're so good at rope climbs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I used to do them a lot more before we opened our own gym.
I gotcha.
So I was better. So they like tax me a lot. I mean, I'm still good at them. I would definitely not say I'm very. I still think I'm
She's
pretty
really
good.
good at rope climbs.
Yeah, you're really good at rope climbs.
But I mean, like
legless
they,
and legged.
But they hurt
Yeah,
me
you're good at rope
more
climbs, too.
than they used to because I just don't do them very much. But
Right.
Rich doesn't do a lot of like chest to bar pull-ups, and I'm not good at those either. So sometimes I'll sub out like. For one rope climb, I'll do 5 chest to bar. You know, so if they do like 8 rope climbs in a workout, like regular, I'll do 40 chest or something like that. Or space. Like I got to work around my classes. So when it's like a 50-foot handstand walk or 50-foot lunge in the evenings, I'm like, well, I got to save that for tomorrow and like switch things around because
Right.
I
Yeah,
just.
I thought you were gonna skip that workout last week with the lunges, and I was.
I
like,
did it. I did it the
I
morning.
know you did it the next day.
No, but I was like, I just can't do it at night. We have 2 classes running. Like, there's no, unless I went like 15 feet,
Right.
which would be dumb.
Nah.
Turning around that many
Yeah,
times.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, you're good.
That's so awesome that you coach classes at your gym too.
I love it.
That's super cool.
And at least like once a week, I try to do one class, like full from start to finish, like warm up, everything, like with the group.
Yeah, that's so
I mean, because
cool.
I write their workouts. It's kind of like you write the workouts for your gym. Like I'm not above doing, what you guys have to do all the
usually
time
we do them first, and then I'll take a version of what.
to make it fit your demographic and make it fit your gym.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. My one of my classes is getting a partner style row dumbbell hold.
Ooh,
I know.
that was awful the other
That
day.
was
What was it, a
horrible.
2K, and then you guys were running the loop? And
Yeah. So 2K, your partner had to hold 100-pound or 70, 75-pound
yeah.
dumbbells. While your partner was rolling the 2K, and you just switched every time the person had to drop.
Okay.
And then we ran. It's a little less than a mile. It's like 0.93 miles all the way around the field that we just fenced. And then another 2K, and it was
Grippy.
surprisingly terrible.
It
was
surprising.
breathing and grippy.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was awful. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
hard.
Yeah.
I got a terrible cramp like up in your rib cage,
Oh, side
like
stitch?
on
Little fat man cramp?
on the
Yeah, it's the
run,
worst.
like on
I
the
hate
far
that.
side, and it was like so bad. Ellie's like, "Are you okay, Chris?"
I'm okay. I'm
And
okay.
I was like, "I think so, but I just gotta slow down for a second."
Okay,
and
but
it went
then
away and it came back again.
we talked about
But
this.
it was bad.
Yeah. On that run, it was like Rich and Dre were in front, Haley and Kenzie, and then me and Tage were right behind Haley and Kenzie, and then Kristen and Ellie. And I was like, we were running, and all of a sudden I hear like footsteps, and I'm like, dude, someone is coming up on us fast. Like, who? Like, Ellie
Gipper?
and Kristen are going fast, and all of a sudden Gipper's like, gone.
He flew
And I'm
by
like,
us,
this
too.
jerk, like, dragged me along.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
he is
no,
so
and
fast.
Haley didn't stay with Kenzie. Haley
No,
took
she
off and was
ditched her.
trying to catch us, and I was like,
Oh.
okay, just don't get caught by Haley. Yep, she bailed.
18-year-old bodies, I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
All those ligaments and joints, all fresh.
That worked.
All fresh.
You know how it kills me to hear you talk
I
about
know,
that.
right?
I'm just
That was
cracking up.
That run today was terrible that we did.
Yeah, I just died. I
my
just ran 4
gosh.
laps.
It was like
I tried to go
it
faster,
was
but
10 minutes easy, 8 minutes moderate,
easy.
6 minutes moderate, easy moderate, or no, sorry,
moderate fast.
moderate fast.
Yeah.
2-minute walk.
2-minute walk, and then
4 minutes
it was
fast.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be
It was 10, 8,
10,
6,
so it went
4,
10
2.
easy,
Yeah.
8 easy moderate, and then 6 moderate.
Moderate.
And then 2 walk.
6
and
was
then
supposed to be
4
moderate?
Yes.
Yeah. And then 4
And I
moderate
felt like
fast.
we were going fast on the first
We were
one.
going fast. We were talking, and we were like, Haley, you have the watch. She has an Apple
So you have
Watch,
the
so you're going
power.
to pace us. And so we're just going to dog Haley this whole episode. But
Sorry, Hales. We love
we're
you.
like,
It's only 'cause she's so
run it
good at
like
running.
let's run
Yeah.
it like a 9-minute mile for the first 10 minutes. Let's run an 8-minute mile for the second. The 8 minutes. Let's run a 6 or a 7-minute mile or whatever for
Just so aggressive.
And we
Straight
took off
through.
at we were at 8:25 for our first
I
mile.
could tell
and we were
it
like,
was too
okay,
fast.
something's wrong.
Yeah.
And then by the end, we were all just dying.
In the middle of it, I stopped myself so many times from asking, "Do we even know what we're doing? Like, does
Yeah.
anyone actually know what pace we're running at,
No.
or are we just going by feel?"
I wanted
because if we're
to.
going by feel, then we're going way too
Too fast.
Like,
For 24 minutes, we ran hard.
yeah, it was.
It ended up being like
It was good. but-
3.88 miles or
Almost
something
4.
like that.
I think
So
you guys probably ran 4.
It's a lot for
Pretty
me.
close.
It's a lot for this left knee.
Hey, it seems like you're doing better, though.
Most
I mean,
days, yeah. I think I'm just finally like, screw it. If
Yeah.
it hurts, it'll be all right. It's not like limiting me now. It's the pain I can get past the pain, but when it's like so
Right.
swollen that I can't do anything,
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have that anymore.
That's good.
So that's good.
I saw something on Wodify the other day, Masters Programming, and the guys were doing it. Time cappers were doing it. It was
Team time cap.
Team Time Cap. Yeah,
They're awesome.
It was 200 meters on the rower.
Yeah, 30 by 200 meters.
30 by
Oh
200.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
Is
just
that
On
did
the
that.
minute.
On the minute.
So
I did
basically,
it last Sunday.
But is that a scaled version? Because
No.
that was in the
Heck
Masters.
no.
What-
Yeah, but they don't need to scale a row.
Is that what it was? That was
Yeah.
just for everybody.
Yeah, for everybody.
Because I was like,
30
what did
by-
you do?
No, 30 by
'Cause-
200. There's no. I mean, you might scale that when they. If
Okay.
you get to like the 55, 60, but I think you don't really lose a ton of.
So
I just
girls
thought
would
maybe
row
you guys did
100.
more than that.
Yeah, girls
girls
would
would
row
row
a
100.
75.
We didn't.
No,
we
I-
didn't do like a 30-minute or a 30.
No,
time
I did it
Okay.
on
thing
Sunday.
like that.
I did it on
Okay.
Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Because it was in the programming.
It was one of my Sunday workouts that nobody does, so
Oh.
I just quit sending.
Some of us are dying just doing your
Yeah, we're
Monday workout.
Yeah, just trying
Let
to get
alone
ready
a
for the week.
Sunday workout.
No.
How do you like swimming in the pond?
I like the pond. Well, okay, hold on. There's two answers to that question. So I hate swimming in the pool. So I actually like the pond because it's like different versus going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Right.
Back and forth.
But the fishies that are biting me and the turtles and the mud that
Yeah.
feels like poop when I have to stand, I'm not really feeling that. But other than that, I like it.
Yeah. You're a swimmer too, right?
Yeah, but I was a sprinter. Like, there's a difference.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
there's you can
She's
swim
still a
up
good
to a
swimmer.
mile.
She's still really
No,
good.
no, I'm a good
Amazing.
swimmer, but he beats me. The only thing I beat him
long
in is
stuff.
in the sprinty stuff, like
Right,
yesterday. That's
right.
it. But the long stuff, I'm like, I get so bored, and my arms get so tired, and I just don't want to hurt like that anymore.
Right.
Because it's
Well, there's no need to. If you can not hurt and go as fast as you do, you're fine.
Yeah.
thanks. Well, I can't beat him in anything except for like maybe a 50-meter sprint.
You were sprints. You were beating me yesterday.
Yeah. Yay.
Chyna, your backstroke too.
Yay.
Like,
Yeah,
you'll
you
can
flip
just
over
friggin'
and
backstroke
you're
in the
going
middle
like
and you're like, I
one
hate
and a
you.
half times as fast as I
have to
am.
backstroke because I can't breathe.
That is amazing.
I can't breathe.
Can't
But
breathe.
you're like
I
in a
can't
straight
breathe.
line too. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oxygen.
I need air.
What was the deal with the alligator in the pond?
Oh my gosh, that thing is terrifying.
Well,
Okay,
I heard
so
a
hold
rumor.
on. Back, what was it? About a month and a half, 2 months ago, where Tasia sent that message to the group.
About
It was like, did you guys about the
Oh,
alligators
they're
making
in
their way
Tennessee.
into Tennessee?
Oh, yeah.
Well, because they're
Yeah.
coming up the Mississippi and they're in West Tennessee.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
not alligators here. Well,
Yet.
she sends this message. She's like, "You think there could be an alligator in the pond?" And I was
Oh
like,
my
I can't
gosh.
wait to do this."
Of course there
And
can
so
be
I
an alligator
messaged-
in the
I was
pond.
like, "Yeah, there's a 600 or 700 foot elevation change from Cookeville to Dad's house. Like,
Right.
ain't no alligator gonna crawl up that hill." Anyway, so I texted Dad and I was like, "Look at this," and he's like, "Oh, we can take care of that." So he ordered a alligator head, a
Okay.
fake alligator
terrifying.
head,
Like a plastic one?
and
It
he got
looks pretty
and he
realistic.
bought a boat to put underneath the alligator head so it would
like a
move
remote controlled
around.
boat.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
legit.
Well, so
That is so
I
messed
wasn't
up.
there, so I can't really speak to the whole story. You were there.
I was there, yeah. It was kind of like, so people are like talking about alligators a lot for some reason.
I
planting
wonder why.
the seed. Yeah, exactly.
it was at Senior's
Shane
house,
was-
like
Yeah, we're
for a
at
barbecue
yeah,
or
sorry,
something.
yeah,
It was
we're at
Kristen
Seniors.
Long's birthday, right?
Yeah, and Tia and Shane kind of leaving for a little bit, so we had a
Right.
barbecue there. And then like it got dark. Like Tia was in the pond retrieving the remote control boat, and she found it. So I don't know how she found it, but she like somehow found it. And then she comes out, and all of a sudden there's a big scene, and like, you know, there's light shining on the pond, and there's something in there. And someone goes, "Is that a turtle?" "No, like, I don't know what it is. It's an alligator." And Senior runs back into the house, grabs a handgun, runs back out, starts shooting. And,
Oh,
like,
seriously?
And, yeah, like, you know, probably, I don't know,
And no
however many
alcohol
shots.
was involved whatsoever.
And, you know, Shane and Tia are like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it," you know. And Tasha's like, "Tia was just in there. You could have died."
So it was completely set up to be
Oh, completely.
real.
Yeah, Shane was like, "Yeah, alligators, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and
Shane-
even so, I'm talking to Tasia after, and she's like, "Well, Shane was even talking about alligators." I was like, "Do you not understand why he?" Oh, yeah, makes
She's
sense
something.
now.
Yeah.
That
The
is
videos I
hilarious.
think on, is it Dad's Instagram? I
Yeah,
think
it's
so.
like-
But it's really super grainy.
oh,
It's
it's-
awful. Like,
That
Which
thing
is
looks like a
scary,
surveillance. It looks like a surveillance video.
Which is funny because on whoever's phone it was on, it looked clear. So I don't know what happened between the.
Yeah, it's
That's-
probably because it was so long.
that's like
man.
one of the
Yeah,
best.
that's probably what it was.
One of the best jokes of all time, right there.
We've got some
It's
pretty
just,
good ones.
I
That
think
one
it's
was-
really good that Tasia wasn't in the pond when that happened.
Oh,
Cause
she would have been scarred for life.
It's still
Yeah.
kind of like it's out there, now because Dad's just kind of put it out there, and you look at it and you're like,
It's really
it's
scary.
not an
Yeah,
alligator, but is it an alligator?
I know. It's
Like,
scary.
yeah,
It has
just the
like
way
red
it's-
eyeballs.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
creepy.
I
I think it's funny that the turtles aren't afraid of it either.
Ew,
or
No,
anything.
the
Dad's
turtles
kind
are
of. Dad was like, "Yeah, I'll put it out there. Maybe the turtles will be afraid of it." We
Yeah.
saw 3 turtles before we hopped
They
in.
like peeked
I
up and
touched
said
one.
hi like before we got in. They're like sitting up in the middle of the pond, and then they went back down under. And
Snapping
we're like,
turtles.
But
They're
they've
really
never.
angry.
But so the funny thing too is like people were freaking out on social media that Dad killed this alligator. They're like, "Why didn't you just call somebody to have them relocate it?"
that's
And you're just
hilarious.
like, "Okay, one, you don't know the type of people we are, and 2, it was a joke." Like,
yeah.
yeah.
One, those would be boots.
And if we did kill that alligator, yes, it probably would have gotten eaten. Maybe not the whole thing, but we
Right.
would have tried it at least. But yeah, everybody's like, "I can't believe you didn't just call somebody to relocate it."
Isn't there some horror movie out right now? It's all about alligators. There's a flood.
I don't know, is there?
Yeah, I saw a commercial.
Oh.
There's
Maybe
a flood in
we should
Mississippi or
convince
whatever, and
Tasia.
a giant
See
like
it.
family of alligators goes to the
Ew.
town killing
No.
Everybody,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah,
What?
We should have had her watch that before.
yeah.
Dang it! Could have planted the seed even better.
Even better. I
Wait,
don't know.
what's
She
that
was still
channel
pretty
with
terrified.
Sharknado? Is it on that channel? Is that
I don't
Life
know. I
Channel?
think this is
that
actually a
Discovery
movie.
Channel?
Is that Discovery?
I think it's. I don't know.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi. Probably
Sci-fi.
sci-fi. Sounds like sci-fi.
Yeah.
Alligator movie.
Tasia's perfect though. She's
Yeah. She's gullible.
really, really gullible, and she has a good heart,
Yeah,
and
and she can take it. 'Cause
she's sincere, and we can really kind of
Most of the
Hammer.
time
take
she can
advantage
take
of
it.
that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Most of the time.
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
So what
Gotta have
else?
some fun.
So what else?
What else have we done this week?
I'm gonna go to Cracker Barrel tonight for pancakes.
Cracker Barrel?
Yep.
Oh.
And then we got to go to Bob's tomorrow, too.
Oh, I'm excited.
my
Bob's
gosh.
is
I
the
heard
best.
it's so
You're
pretty.
gonna love it.
You haven't
It's
been
the
to
best.
Bob's?
I've never been.
Oh,
It's
cool.
awesome.
I've met him and his wife. What's his wife name?
Margaret.
Margaret. Yeah.
It's the best place on the planet.
It's absolutely one
It
of the
really
coolest
is.
places that I've ever been. Period.
Yeah.
It's not very far though. Yeah, like 30
45 minutes. Something
Cool.
like that.
His little gym above the lake, everything
he
that
has
he
a
has
gym?
there.
Box on the
Oh, yeah.
rocks.
The box
It's
on the rocks.
Oh
Really
my
cool.
gosh! Just
It's
wait.
awesome.
That
It's
is
like
so
got one of
cool.
everything in it, and then that patio that's over the water is incredible. And then he cooks food every time we go. I'm like, Bob, you don't have to make
It's
it.
like
stole
a
the broccoli
full,
slaw.
Yep,
like
I stole the broccoli slaw.
buffet too of different stuff.
Oh, I love food.
Food.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. Swim?
Cool.
Maybe. We got to get Tasia's heart rate up before she jumps
Do
in the
something.
water.
Yeah.
What'd you guys do that one time? You had some assault bikes
bike
over there.
sprints.
And
Yeah,
then,
we assault bike sprinted and,
And
then
front
swam.
Front squats.
Oh, yeah, we did front squats with dumbbells.
Dumbbell.
didn't we?
Yeah. That was
that was pretty legit.
with Tia. Tasia and I were in a group with Tia. We're like, why? Why are we in this
Why?
group?
There's like a hero workout.
Just go on without
like
us,
the squat
please.
cleans
Yeah.
and
And
200
swimming?
meter swims.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we did it in a lake. Me and Kenzie.
Should look
And-
that up.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's-
we'll do it.
It's bad.
It looks.
Except it was supposed to be with
Dumbbell
200.
squat cleans are terrible.
Yes, it's supposed to be
200
200 meters in
swim.
between, but we didn't have that measured out, so we did 400s
Oh, perfect.
in between. So it took like
An
40
hour?
minutes.
I was about to say an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, Bob last time was like, we had this old range that was like 500 or 600 meters. Well, then we had this like no wake buoy that we would just swim to just because sometimes. And so Bob's like, well, I went ahead and took the buoys all the way out to there, so you guys had something. I was like, thanks, Bob. Now we
I
have to
extended
use
the
it.
course.
Now we
That's
have
true.
to use it.
Like
yeah.
he went all the way out there to put it out
Yeah,
there.
so it's like you gotta use it.
The other day, Tasia was talking about the last time you were out there, and she felt like she had passed kind of a test because you did something that kind of set her
1200
up.
That was it.
meters,
We made her do that.
somersault,
We were like, I was like, Tasia, you're going to the end and back. Because at first in the warm up, she was supposed to go to the end, and she went to the second to last one. I was like, why did you do that?
right.
She's like, I don't know.
Right.
It's like you can do it. Just like you don't have to. It doesn't have to be freestyle the whole time, but do it. It was more like a mental thing.
Right.
And so her and Kristen both made the 1200.
That's so
Or
rad.
1,000 or
They
whatever it
survived.
is. We don't know.
Yeah.
It's just far.
Who knows? I mean,
It's
It's
for
just
when I
far.
looked at it and we were driving, I was like, I'm not doing that.
But, and
Yes, you
like,
are.
oh,
what's
this
even
is
more messed up is
Rich
that
and
like
Tia's.
it looks far and it's 10 times farther than it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you think it's 50 meters, it's probably 100.
Yeah.
Like, just looking out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
like,
it's different from swimming in a pool too, because
Oh.
you're not pushing off the wall.
100%.
per,
Can't
you know,
see anything.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we were talking about yesterday. We
Yep.
swam probably
2,500.
2,500.
No
but
walls.
It's more like 3,000 because
Yeah,
when I
when
push off
Chyna
the
said
wall, I'm
that.
like probably 10 or at least
At
8
least
meters every
6
time,
to
every
7, yeah.
25. And so
multiply
you don't
that.
have that. Yeah.
What's
You
your
don't think
guys'
about
worst
that.
experience swimming in open water, like games experience?
My
'Cause I know
worst-
you guys have
mine
all
wasn't
done it.
open water. Mine was in the pool.
Oh, that one.
Oh,
The muscle up and swimming workout, I looked like a fool.
Is that like
Kinda
back in the beginning?
Yeah, it was 13. Because in 11 and 12, nobody really knew how to swim, and they were such short swims. And then the one time we got to use fins that it wasn't really.
Yeah.
And it was usually the beginning of something, so you could just kind of whatever. Well, in that one, I had no idea really how to swim at all, and to do bar muscle ups in the swim. Now I wish I could go back and do that workout because I would crush it. But
Yeah.
at the time, I literally thought I was dying.
There's a picture of you over there coming out of the water with some
That's
fins.
Camp Pendleton, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That one wasn't that terrible because you had fins on, and
Yeah.
I mean, I backstroked some of it, which I
Yeah.
don't know how to backstroke really, but I was backstroking.
I just did it.
Yeah. And we had like long fins, not
But that's
like
good because
short
then you
fins.
could just kick the
Yeah,
whole time.
That's basically
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
we did.
I would say mine is the run, swim, run in 17. I consider myself obviously like a decent swimmer. And normally when CrossFit measures things out, I'm like, that is short. They
Yeah.
say 500, it's 250.
Oh, that was the
They
one-
say 500,
Yeah.
it's 300. They say 500, it's 100. Like the beach in 16, we had to do run, swim 500, and then run. And like the times were like 6 minutes. I'm like,
Yeah.
in a pool, that's fast.
Right.
Like there
Yeah.
is no way
No
we
way.
went out through the water, ran
Yeah.
100 meters, all this stuff. It was like a 250.
Yeah.
But 2017, I'm like, that was like a 700.
Well, it's because
Was it?
you ran up.
That's good to know.
And
At
they're
least.
like-
It was much
You're
further
like,
than
oh,
a
the
500.
buoy's right there. They're like, no,
thing I
the
didn't know
buoy's
that.
That
over
one.
there.
And it
so
was
you had to go way
huge.
out to the right and then all
Like
the
a
way
weird
back.
triangle.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But
it
it
took
was,
me
like,
like
didn't even close.
15 minutes.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
or like 14 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
like, there is no way I could have kicked, like with a kickboard, kicked to 500 that fast. And you know what I mean? So anyway, I was expecting it to be like, oh yeah, 300, like the way CrossFit always does it.
No,
and it was like
that
twice
was
as
out
far,
there.
and I was dying.
That was Darren's worst event ever at the games, too.
Really?
You guys remember that story? Because that was the year before. That was when he was on the
I was-
six-person team with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, that was the same year.
And-
like that was the first.
and
Did you
so
guys
I was
have
in
to
the
do
same
pairs?
spot
Yes,
mentally
we
as
did
him. I feel
pairs.
like.
So it was Kristen,
Male, female pairs,
Kristen and Lindy, not this Kristen, ref it. They
yeah,
went
one male,
first. They
female,
came
yeah.
back in probably like middle of the pack, like 15th or so. And then Hewitt and Darren go, and they came in like 20-something. And then me and Ellie went last, and we finished 4th. But
Oh,
like
wow.
Darren was like spitting the whole time, like almost
That was
died.
pretty
And Darren's a
painful.
great runner. Like
So
could not
yeah.
run at all and be completely fine on any running workout, and
Yeah.
was like dog slobbering, freaking out. And Hinshaw's like telling Hewitt to drag him like a dog.
Like a dog.
That's the.
I remember
It's like,
hearing
you
that.
I've
drag
heard that
him.
story.
Wow.
Drag him like a
That
dog.
second run was rough.
That
though.
second run was rough. Yeah,
That
we
was-
were like, Ellie's like trying to pep talk me through it because I swam faster, but she's a whole lot better runner than I am. And so she like gets into this like competition mode. So we get out and there's this team that like gets out of the water right behind us. And she's like, let's just stay ahead of them. Well, they passed us. And I was like, she's like, all right, let's just stay with them and then we can push at the end. And I was like, they just kind of slowly crept away. And I was like, nope, let them go. They're good. I'm good.
That run was
It's
hurting.
awful.
And we didn't know the course then because
No.
it was like the first time. So we got to the grass, and I was racing Sarah Sigmund's daughter, and she like kicked it into high gear at like.
Well, everybody ran on the individuals ran like a 6-minute mile to start or a 5-minute,
I know.
5.5
I was
minute
in
mile.
that group. It was
I was
terrible.
like, what are you guys doing?
Sounds about right.
What are you guys doing?
Was this
Because
the
it was
first
men
year in
and
Wisconsin?
women. Yes, and it
Yeah.
was men and women all went together.
Ugh.
And oh my gosh, we came out, and she kicked it like 800 meters out, and I thought I could see the finish, but I didn't realize we had to do this. I was wrecked for the entire day.
Is swimming maybe the thing you've made the most improvement on over time if you were to look at
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Running was there. I was getting a lot better at running until I tore my meniscus. But swimming is something that I was absolutely terrible at, and now I can at least hold my own.
Hold your own.
Wadapalooza was awesome when you were swimming over the top of people. That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a little shaky.
A little aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Throwing a few elbows.
Somebody grabbed my shorts, and it wasn't like in pack swimming.
No, yeah,
it's
you,
whatever.
like,
you
you
get
hit it.
hit
Yeah,
and whatever.
it is
It's
whatever.
fine. You get it. But somebody grabbed my shorts and then pushed me down or pulled me down, and I was not okay with that. So I gave him a nice elbow to the temple.
Oh,
They may still be out there in the water, but
Maybe.
you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, it's kind of like survival mode too. When
that's
I
straight
get
survival.
somebody hit me, I'm mad. But it's like, okay, whatever. But when somebody grabs and then
Or, like,
pulls
pulls your feet,
or pulls on
oh,
you,
I
then
kick people.
then you're like, okay.
No, they grab your foot and pull you back.
That's when it's like, all right, I'm gonna.
I haven't experienced that.
We're gonna.
I haven't done CrossFit, but
Chris is like,
I'm in the back of the pack.
Yesterday
so.
we were swimming and me and Dre were kind of like, you were there and I was like, I don't want to get too far and away, so I like went around. Dre went on the inside and I was like, hopefully she doesn't okay.
You guys should just like make.
Just bury you.
Yeah.
no,
Just
that's
well,
so mean.
at least, yeah. I mean,
Well, at
I
least
need
you're
to
in
get
the
used to
pond. Yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
Yeah, but your stroke is so good.
Yeah.
I think it's just choppy water at this point
You
because
just get a little freaked out.
like I can't find like a good rhythm,
Yeah.
and then I don't have like another stroke that
Yeah.
I'm like
I
Tasia can
told
do
her to
side
try to do
stroke.
breaststroke.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I
Like,
just,
No,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
meant like if it's choppy and you need
Like,
to
do a
side, just do
few,
one or two,
and then-
it'll
yeah.
keep your heart rate
Yeah.
down.
So
and then go
I'm sure I'll
again.
get to work on that at Bob's, but
yeah,
Try
get that
it.
rescue side
I do
stroke thing
that.
in your repertoire.
Yeah.
yeah, seriously.
pick the apple, put it in the basket.
Yeah.
Pick the cherry, put it in the basket. I think that's the survival.
Like Tasia
Oh,
can do
yeah,
that
yeah,
forever,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's so hard.
There was a guy in 13
It's getting better.
that did that the entire time in the swim and like finished top 10 or 15,
Yeah,
I think.
it
Wow.
saves a lot of energy.
It's like, what the hell?
Freestyle's
I
tiring.
was just dying in the pool. Dying.
Oh, that one.
And I had those goggles that were like...
Oh, the face mask.
Face mask
Oh, you were like
goggles.
snorkeling without the snorkel.
Yep.
Oh, you looked real fancy.
It's just a whole different level of
Times.
comfortability to,
Yeah,
you know, to
it's really
adapt to the water.
All it really is, honestly, is getting comfortable and knowing you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then from there, obviously, you can
Building
fine tune
from
your
there, yeah.
stroke and work on kicking, work on pulling, that type of stuff. But until you can get comfortable in the water, then you really can't get better at stuff.
We
because
really don't need to work on kicking. Kicking is
I don't kick enough when I swim. When I swim,
because
I
you're
don't
not
kick
supposed to. It wastes too much energy, and
No.
the reward is not great.
there
See?
you go.
Like if
Ooh,
you
look
look
at
at
this
things I
technical
need to
stuff.
know.
I like this.
seriously, like if you watch
Well,
go watch an
sprinting, though,
Ironman.
you
No,
need to
no.
kick.
Oh yeah, of course, like
Yeah,
a 50.
but Ironman, yeah, heck
Go
yeah. When I
watch
go
them. They
long
do like
distance,
a-
I'm barely kicking.
Yeah, they do this.
Yeah.
So like, why?
Like
why
just
would you
to kind
need
of
to
guide.
kick?
I don't
when
know.
you're
Chris
breathing.
tells us to sometimes. To kick.
No,
Ew. Ew.
we should pull. Pulling is fun.
Pulling is
I do
fun.
like pulling.
Yeah, pulling is fun
Like, oh,
because
this is so
but
relaxing.
that's
I love
that
it.
is to
It
my
does
point
hurt,
is that
though.
your legs aren't doing any
I
work,
get
but it
you.
still feels okay. But when you start to add legs, like you get really tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like you kick enough to stay buoyant.
But when
you
we
don't.
need to sprint, you got to kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is where.
But when do we need to
I
sprint?
still
When
need
has there
Chyna's
been a
help all
sprint
the
in
time.
There's never
CrossFit?
been. It could be
Maybe
this
I
year.
don't even
know
Could be
that.
this year. You
I
never
would
know.
like
You never
be
know.
so happy if instead of a 500 we swam 100.
You never know.
Some
Oh
kind
my
of a
gosh.
sprint instead
Yes,
of something longer.
Please, a relay. That would be so fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
I would like
we
to
would
see a
actually
relay.
be
That would be
pretty
cool.
good, I think.
Decent, I think.
Dre is really fast.
Dre's fast.
Yeah.
Tasha's not bad either.
Dre's
No.
a good swimmer.
Yeah, Dre's a good
I've
swimmer.
never
Dre
seen
is-
Dre swim.
Yeah.
Dre's super fast. Anything when it gets longer, he slows down a little bit, but under 100 meters, he's real fast.
Yeah, it's not.
At 100 meters, he's
Dre's a really
fast.
freaking
Yeah.
good athlete.
He's a great athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, you like that.
He's a really good runner. He all of a sudden, well,
Oh
because he
my
runs.
gosh.
He's like a closet runner now. He's like,
He runs all the time.
I'm like, Dre, did you run today? He's like, no. I'm only running twice a week. I'm like, bullshit.
no.
I've
I'm
been
like, you
into.
need to-
He was
I'm like,
so
you need,
fast
I'm like,
today,
you need
though.
to squat snatch. That's what you need to do. You need to squat snatch and do handstand push-ups. That's it.
Dude.
Multiple times I've gone in like on a Sunday because I'll
He's in there
sometimes and
running.
he's in there in the corner running.
Yeah.
He's by
That's
himself
his twice a
on the
week.
runner,
Bastard. Yeah.
making it happen.
I got about once a week. Once a week in me.
Well, that's what your knee can do right now.
That's what it's got. That and my flag football running.
Oh
That's-
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Playoffs this weekend.
is it
Really?
CrossFit? Is
Get
it CrossFit Mayhem? Is that the
CrossFit
name of the
Mayhem.
team?
Yeah, and actually, pretty much everybody on the team are all members or work out at the gym at some
Yeah.
point. So yeah, it's cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
4-2, but 2 of the losses were
One, none of us were there.
okay. It's like a forfeit.
Well, yeah, one was a forfeit because we were at Rogue, and the other one was Darren had to get 6 random guys because nobody could play because I don't think we were in China. I don't remember where we were at. So we were going somewhere, and so we didn't have enough players. So we lost 2, but going into the playoffs on a 4-game win streak. So
I like it. I like
Nice.
it.
we're hot, coming in hot.
How many teams are in the final?
There's 7.
7 teams.
7. One team gets a bye, and then we're the 3 seed, I guess, technically.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. We
Is
got 2
this
games
like-
on Sunday.
A multiple year league or like the
This
first
is first year.
First
This is
year.
first
I heard you got voted
League MVP.
League MVP.
I'm like, guys, come on. It's probably just because everybody, it's the only name that they knew of everybody in the league.
Right.
I played 3 games.
Right.
So it'll be fun, though. It'll
It's
be a good
awesome.
time.
Put your knee brace on.
Put my knee brace on. Good to go.
Get out there and
Bionic.
throw the rock around.
Yep. Trice just stands out there and yells, "Hey!
Good coaching. He's the coach.
Hey! Gaga!" There ya.
That's awesome.
Hey. I'm like, shut up. Whose kid is that? He's a dude.
He's a big time dude.
I like it.
I sent you a video the other day of this dad and his son
that video
sitting on
went
the
viral
couch.
after that, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No.
It's just this dad and his son. He's a little younger than Trice, but he's just sitting there and the kid talks like Trice. And the dad's like having a conversation like me and Trice do.
Yeah.
But they're sitting on a couch, the kid's pointing and talking. He's like, really? Like,
The kid's not speaking
That is
English at
so
all. He's
cute.
just
Yeah.
jabbering.
It's the same
Aw.
as Trice.
So
it's
funny.
the same
Yeah.
conversations that we
But-
have daily.
You can kind of tell what he wants and what he's saying.
You can
and
tell what he
everything.
wants because he points.
Right.
I
What?
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but he
it's always
says the
smiling.
same thing. Oh, it's the
That's
happiest kid ever.
I know.
We were saying, Dre today was like, I'm convinced if you took that kid out and put him in the woods for a whole 24 hours, he'd be completely fine.
He'd survive for
Yeah.
sure.
Because he just
Eats
scavenges.
anything.
He just scavenges and just kind
He
of
ate the
makes
core
his...
of an apple today.
Yeah.
He
Like,
just,
not the
like-
apple,
Yeah,
just
Tasha
the
gave
core.
him the other half of her apple, and I see him walking around, and it's like a third of the apple, but like the good
Only
part.
the- yeah.
And I'm like, did you eat the core?
Sure
like,
he
Just the core.
The stem is nowhere to be found. There's no seed. Like, there's.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Trice. He's just...
It's amazing because
He's just a
his
savage.
nature is to be happy,
Yeah.
and then to be in whatever's there's to be in.
Everything.
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 What was it he was dumping over the other day? Like a bush or something. You were making chicken on the grill, and he had a plant, and he was like checking it out.
A butterfly
and
bush, and then just chucked it at me. And I'm like, what, dude? When I told him to put it down, he like looks at me and like tries to take off with it, and I go after him, so then he just pitches it. That's his thing. Like when I'm like, all right, hey, give me that, and he won't, and he starts to like run away.
Yeah.
And as soon as he runs away, he just throws it like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah, when everybody's training, he like leaves the barn, and he'll go to all the cars
Yep.
and try
Oh,
to see
yeah.
if the doors are open to get in the seats.
He
and
got into Kenzie's car today.
But her keys are in the car. She leaves her keys in
Yeah,
the
she
car.
left her keys in the car. And then he'd gotten into her center console, gotten some perfume out, gotten some fingernail
Nice.
clippers. There were feet marks in her seats, so I'm like, sorry. So
he just gets in there and tries to drive, turn on all the
turns
stuff.
on all the buttons, hits all the
Yeah.
buttons. Yeah.
He turned on the radio and the Razor the other day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Dad was not happy about that. But the kid loves my dad. I'm
He's
like,
a dude. He totally loves you.
loves my
Obsessed with
dad.
him, yeah.
I've never seen a kid like my dad that much. He loves my dad. I'm like, what the heck? Dad's great with him, so it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, he loves both my parents. But yeah, he loved Papa. That's like one of his like after Dad and Mom. It was Papa. That's his first 3 words. And now
Aw.
all he says, anytime that doorbell or like we have an alarm on our driveway to let you know people come down the driveway, Papa,
Aw.
Papa.
That's awesome.
Loves it.
So cute. I like when he grabs like it's not even like a phone, and he starts saying cheese.
Yo,
cheese,
cheese,
Oh.
cheese.
Taking
Well,
pictures
better
of
than-
everyone.
It's better than when he
Cheese.
grabs thumb tape and starts to eat that.
Eating it.
Oh yeah.
Most things go
Or
to
like magnesium, whatever
He
lotion.
loves
Yeah,
the
like
magnesium spread, and he'll just eat it.
We've talked about him, drinking out of
Anyone
Out
and
of anyone's-
everyone's water bottles. and-
or taking them and dumping them out
Dumping
for
them
fun.
out. That's all he does.
That's his new
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
yeah, like to grab the heavier duty
Oh
like
yeah, he
ones
loves
and like
walking
walk
around.
out.
He loves walking around. He had Tasia's like Yeti,
Yep. Yep.
and was just walking around the yard. It's like, where are you going? He walked all the way up to the house with this thing. I mean, it's like it's lumbering with
Yeah,
him. He's like,
seriously.
He was outside the barn screaming into one of the igloo coolers the other day and
Yeah.
listening to his voice.
Yeah, echo.
Sticking his head in there and yelling, and he was smiling, and he was doing it again, and no one was watching him.
Yeah.
He did it like 10 times, and he's pretty satisfied. Kicked it over, went on to the next thing.
He
That's
is
Trice.
something.
He's a dude.
Stitch.
So cute.
Yeah, he
That's
is.
what
Yeah.
Chyna calls him Stitch.
I do.
It's really hard, like, not to like him.
Oh,
just
oh,
because
man.
of how happy
He's
he
literally
is.
happy all the time. That's
Yeah.
the hard part is like even when he does something stupid or like I'm like, what are you doing? He's still like, huh. And I'm like, you moron.
Well, I like heard him crying because I'm like staying in the room next to him, and I was like, oh man, he hasn't seen me yet. Like I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna open this door, and this kid's gonna be like, what is this brown girl doing in my room? Get her out of here, mom. Anyway, and I open it, and he's like, like hey, and I'm like,
Oh, look
wow,
who's
you
here.
haven't seen me in like 2 or 3 weeks, and you're just
He's
like so
happy-
excited that I'm
happy
here.
all the time. As long as he's not hungry or you're not changing his diaper,
He just runs away.
happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or when
Happy.
he is sad for like 2 seconds, sometimes he'll like be in the barn, but then like run around the corner and be sad by himself.
And then come back. Yep.
and he's just smiling
Yep.
again, and like 20 seconds later.
Well, all your kids have had such a really cool opportunity to be around lots of different people.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
they're pretty
Yeah, they're very social.
pretty socialized
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
it comes
that
to
is really
nothing
cool.
really throws them in that regard.
No, it's good. They're not many. I mean, they do have kid friends, obviously, but they're around adults a lot. But they're
Just
very
for now
socialized.
until they go to school.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then they'll be.
And they have free reign to do pretty much any and everything. So.
And they do it.
They do it. They do it.
It's
all
funny
the
when
things.
Lakelyn actually gets shy too, though, because
Oh,
normally
yeah.
she's not.
Yeah,
but when
but
she does, it's like the funniest
you're
thing
like,
in the
"What
barn.
the heck?"
When there's like a few new people there, and then she's like, "I'm not
Or
gonna do it."
if you get call her out on something,
Yeah,
then she
like,
gets
you
like
wanna see something?
super embarrassed. You're like, what's your deal? This is not you.
She didn't talk to me like the first time that I was here. She would just look at me, and I'm like, I'm not going to bother you. Like, if you want to talk
Yeah.
to me, you could talk to me. Now
No,
we're
she
best friends.
loves Chyna.
We're best
loves
friends.
Chyna. They play Legos every night. Loves Chyna.
That's awesome. How do you like being on a team? You've been an individual competitor for so long. What's the...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's way harder for me
Really?
personally. Yeah, I mean, you like, especially when you're with such good athletes, it's like, you have to elevate everything. When you're an individual, I feel like you can kind of like, well, at least for me, I wasn't like trying to win and everything. Like kind of get by. Like you can pace everything yourself. You can like make changes to your own game plan,
Right.
but you can't make a change to the game plan unless it benefits the
Everybody,
four.
yeah.
And that's like just a lot more moving parts. But it is so much more fun. Like walking out together is
Yeah, a lot
amazing.
less
You know what I mean? Even like training
stress.
together and being able to do like partner workouts.
Partner
They're
workouts.
not partner workouts. They're individual workouts
Partner.
next to somebody
Yeah.
else.
Exactly.
So, I mean, like, it's been incredible. I really, really enjoy it, and I'm really happy that I get to be a part of this.
That's cool. Was Chyna the first time you guys competed
Nope.
together?
It's right here.
Oh, yeah, that. Well, me and him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He
Okay.
was
Invitational.
supposed to be coach.
I was a coach that year, and then I stepped in. I think, that
Ben
year.
got hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ben
Ben's
got hurt.
back was
Oh.
hurty.
Oh, right on.
And so that was in
It was
Spain.
with Dan.
So cool.
España.
Dan and Margot. Yeah.
Dan and Margot. And
Oh, and Dan got yelled at the most. I thought it was going to be me or
No.
Margot. I was like, oh, Rich is going to yell at us
I don't-
so much.
I usually don't yell at the girls.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
I know, but I'm saying now, like I don't
No,
ever,
no,
I've
no,
never
no.
gotten. I get heated with Dre sometimes
Well,
because,
yeah.
but I don't
He's
think
the guy.
I've ever.
No, I meant like I
gotten
thought
heated
we were
with
going to
any
get
of the
the
girls.
most like,
Just don't feel comfortable doing that.
Right.
But yeah, I did yell at Dan a lot.
oh.
Really?
But I was like,
I wanted to kill Dan actually.
yeah, actually, no, kill him
When
on
we
the
were
last
doing
workout.
the worm.
It was the first time. It was
Yes,
a four-person.
four-person
well, no,
worm.
second time, but
Yeah, but it was the first time I think we used a 4-person worm, right?
no, the year before you,
You're right.
Emily,
You're
and
right.
Jason.
You're right.
Used it.
But yeah, so like on clean and jerk, so you go up, over. At that time, we would go up, over, and then down. Dan would go up, over, and then
and
just
just
pitch
let it go.
Oh,
And we're all
then
just
that's
getting
when
like,
it's gonna, yeah.
and we're at the end and we're winning, but
Yeah.
still, I'm like, Dan,
We're
Yeah.
dying.
Dan,
Yeah.
you're killing us. Stop doing that. Whatever. And so we keep going. He just
And he
keep
just
doing.
kept
I wanted
jumping,
to.
and it was like crooked.
At
And
the end,
Yeah.
we'd won, and I'm
Like,
still.
it doesn't even matter,
I'm
yeah.
still yelling at him, and he was like, "Bro, I was doing my own thing. I didn't care what you said."
we know.
I was like, "We can tell, Dan,
gosh.
you were killing the
Yeah.
rest of it." He's like, "I'm crushing this." And he said
That's
that's all he
so
could think in
funny.
his
Yeah.
head is, "I'm crushing this." I was like, "Okay,
Yep.
you're crushing us."
Yeah.
But
That's so funny because that's so true. Like on the worm, when you like one person is like kind of doing their own thing, and you keep saying like, "Hey,
Yeah, hey,
like, can you not do
knock
that or
it
whatever?"
off.
And they
Like
just
me
keep
stepping
doing
on the
it. It
strap.
doesn't matter where if you're
Sorry.
doing well or not.
Right.
You're like,
in China was we were doing was it the cleans? It was the
Yeah.
cleans, the clean
The
workout, first workout.
They
In
weren't
China,
rogue worms.
The
They
worms were
were
not
not
great
the same.
quality, and so the straps were like they'd had them
Velcro.
like cinched. Well, the rogue ones are too, but they're perfect to where they're like.
Not going to come undone.
Exactly.
Oh,
well,
was it
these were
like-
kind of coming undone. No,
Yeah.
and Chyna was standing on the strap when we'd go to clean. Like, you trying to make this
just
harder?
make it more difficult.
Trying to make this harder?
We only had to do 50.
Only 50.
Only 50.
Was it 50?
Yeah,
it
and
was
we were
50,
like,
5 rounds.
why wasn't there a jerk? And then we practiced it. We're like, oh, that's why there was no
yeah,
jerk.
It was awful.
What was there was one workout or one
DT.
movement, DT. Yeah, that was
a
different to
mess.
watch.
Yeah, it was.
I'd never seen that with the
It's
worm
not the
before.
greatest. The hang clean part of it
Yeah.
was not, and even a deadlift with the worm is kind of a weird.
It is weird.
thing
For
to
that
do.
many reps.
But yeah, hang clean was. It was
Interesting.
weird, and
it was
then
like just like a hip curl.
and then we started getting no rep on push press for some reason. I don't really know why. And then Tasia stopped doing push press in the middle, and so we only got technically we finished the workout, but since Tasia didn't do her 2 reps,
Yeah.
we all got penalized and didn't finish the workout. So
Honestly, my favorite part of that whole thing, and I loved the competition, was when
Hey, girlfriend.
the Chinese announcer,
Oh, yeah,
he'd
'cause
be
they have
talking
the
in
two.
Chinese, and then he would either say your name or his name. So it's, whatever in Chinese, and Chyna
Yeah.
Cho
Yeah.
or Rich Froning. It's hilarious.
yeah, that was fun. China was fun. Well, yeah, it was an interesting trip.
Yeah.
It was definitely a different,
Yeah.
a little culture shock
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
First couple of days, we figured it out by what, day 3?
What do you mean by figured it out?
We went to the right places to eat and all that type of stuff.
How to stay
No,
alive.
I'm pretty
Sustenance.
sure that
Was it
fish
day 4?
egg mochi
Was that day
pizza
3?
was
Okay,
day
maybe it was
3.
day 4 we figured it out.
Day 4 or 5.
Yeah. We didn't really have anybody to. We had one guy
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo with
Yeah.
Reebok, and he was great and would show us
But
around.
he was from
there was
Spain.
But yeah, he's
Which
from
is
Spain.
funny.
But there was a couple times, like couple nights, we would just go off on our own,
Yeah.
and when we did that, it was like
bad.
it was horrible. There
We
was
didn't
one
have
night,
enough money.
Yeah. You had to be cash. They don't take Visa there.
Yeah.
Even if you do, they use WeChat. It's kind of like a social media chat thing.
Okay.
International.
And you can put your credit card in there. However, still they don't take Visa. And
Oh, wow.
so we had yen, and we didn't have enough
We
yen.
had
It was-
like 70
The whole
short.
meal came out to be like $128 or
Yeah.
something like that. We ordered a bunch of stuff. But
We only ate like
probably
28 cents of that.
Yeah, it was not.
It was disgusting.
There was some lost in translation on the menu.
Pork berry.
Oh.
Yeah, pork belly. And then what else?
What did
was
you do to
there?
pay for it then?
Facundo had to
Facundo
go.
went to find an
Facundo's a
ATM.
lifesaver. Yeah, Facundo went to the he found an ATM that took Visa.
Oh, wow.
But
Came
it,
back.
It was
Man,
it was a
that's
Because
disaster.
all of us, the one credit card that we allowed to like be international or whatever, just happened to be Visa. All of
Everything
us.
was Visa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And they don't take it.
Well, what do they take then? American
Well,
Express?
no, only
or-
that one restaurant didn't take it because remember, every other restaurant took
yeah,
Visa.
yeah, all the like
and the nail salons.
Well, a lot
and
of those were
everything.
Americanized
true.
restaurants, but like this was
MasterCard?
MasterCard, and I guess they have a different card
Yeah.
in China.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was an interesting. It was a
Trip.
different culture. Different culture. And the flight was awful. 16 and a half hours on a plane and going. We did fly business class, but that's like an inch and a half more of legroom.
Yeah.
And 16 and a half
can't
hours on a
imagine.
plane.
I watched like 7 movies.
Did you-
well, I
you
was
guys
only
didn't
13
sleep?
and a half.
I slept for an hour and a half on each flight,
Oh, I didn't
and I
sleep on
watched all of the Avengers movies. Ant-Man,
3 times through.
Ant-Man and Wasp, and The Dark Knight Rises.
Right on.
It was awful.
That is that's so long.
Speaking of that, did you see
Holy
some
cow.
guys watched Avengers, the new one, 103 times in the theater?
No.
Why would you do that?
I don't
You
know.
did watch it. Did you eat popcorn too?
In the theater too. Like
In
you
the
can't
theater.
even do other stuff while you're watching
No.
it. Then
103 times apparently.
So what's that come out
Like,
to
you
money wise?
paid
It's
for
$8
gotta be
for a
like-
ticket?
Yeah, I mean
$10 at least.
At least $10. You're $1,000 in.
Wow.
and all
I
the
don't
time.
understand that
I
at
guess
all.
yeah, new one
all
comes
the
out.
time.
It's crazy.
To each their own.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Get on that level, dude. You've only seen it like 2 3/4 times.
2 and yep. I wasn't even 3/4. It was a half. Yeah. But it was good. Lakelyn was like, "All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's go." And then we walk out. And she's like, "I want to go back." And I was like, "We're not going back."
Just like at Disneyland with the rides.
Oh yeah.
I hated it.
she
I
hated
want to
it.
ride it. I don't want to get off.
I wanted that one time though. We stood in line for what 45 minutes. You weren't
Yeah.
with us. It was Freddie.
Oh yeah,
And,
the goofy
Micah.
one. Yeah.
And Lakelyn's crying. Doesn't want to get on this roller coaster. Crying. And I'm like, "You're getting on this roller coaster."
We waited
We
forever.
waited for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I sit her down in the seat, and the lady's like, she has to sit all the way back. And I was like, "She'll sit all the way back." And I close the thing, and she's screaming, "I want off!" Ah! And we go up, and she starts loving it, laughing her head off. She's like, "This
Yep.
is awesome." We get down to finish. She starts crying again because she doesn't want to get off the
She's like,
ride.
"No."
And so everybody looks. It looks like I'm a horrible father because she's been crying the
She's
entire
crying the whole
time.
time.
But no, she's just crying because one, she didn't want to get on, which I was a horrible father.
Right.
And then getting off. But then after that, she rode everything. We
Everything.
rode
Guardians of the
Guardians twice,
Galaxy.
right? And you weren't scared at all, and your mom was scared the entire time.
Terrified. Did swings. We did pirates.
Swings,
we did
Pirates, Little Mermaid.
Soaring over the world or soaring.
Yeah.
The soaring
Yeah.
one.
We did. Me and Braden did the Incredicoaster.
That's fun.
That was fun. You were too short.
Got to grow a little more.
Gotta be a little taller, but it was fun.
Since you've been since you've been coming up here and training up here, is there anything that you've learned about him that you didn't know before, or anything that's you guys have known each other a long time now, but
Yeah, I actually met him in 2010. Yeah.
Yeah.
His dad was his coach at the games.
Dad
I
was
made
at the
it
games in
10 too.
2010.
I
We were
never
in
have heard
the
this.
dungeon of the
Still
the
wearing his
StubHub Center.
cutoffs. Yeah. He's like, I've always known he was like a really great athlete. I'm not even trying to toot his horn because I hate him right now because I'm dying. But like, he's like really knows his stuff.
Right.
I mean, I'm so wrecked, and I'm like, what can we possibly do with any intensity or with any like not just going through the motions and stuff and sure as shit, he figures something
GHD,
out.
Right.
sit up and toes the bar.
Or something, well, whatever. I mean,
Right.
like, I'm like, every inch of my body hurts. Like, my fingernails hurt. Like, my eyebrows hurt. Like, there's nothing that we can do that I'm even going to be, like, be even functional. And then, like, he'll come up with something, and I'm like, how do you even do that? And he, like, makes it up on the fly.
Lots of pain.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but it's like you have to be really smart and like to be able to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For
Without,
sure.
Like,
Without getting hurt.
I don't know about smart, but
yeah. Well, I won't give you that either.
sick
But
and twisted, maybe.
I mean, but I learned that. I mean, he's like
Right on.
better than I even imagined.
Yeah.
Which sucks because then we all get sucked into
Yeah.
making him even better.
Yeah, what it is. Christian,
girl.
something that you said that I thought was really cool when I asked you about that when you first got here was, and you could probably explain it better than me, but it's just not knowing what's getting ready to happen in the workout.
Yeah.
And how initially that was like a huge hurdle. Like, I'd really like to know what's getting ready to happen to me.
Yeah.
But then facing the unknown every day just made you that much better. And
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. Just not knowing, it's like kind of like a psychological thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, whatever. And then it gets written up on the board and you're like, well, okay, like we're doing this movement again. Really didn't want to do that, but I might as well just warm up for it instead of whatever.
Well, I mean,
You know.
we compete all year, or we train all year to not know what we're competing for. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
we can
perfect.
kind of every day mimic that.
Yeah.
There's certain days we know that we're going to swim. There's
Or
certain days we know we're
run
gonna
or whatever.
But for the most part, everything else is just kind of made up on the fly, made up off of feel. I mean, there's some days, obviously, that we know, like, you're pretty beat up, but it's like we still need to train. So we got to figure out a way to do something and get something in and try to keep that intensity somehow.
Bench press.
Bench press, that's this afternoon.
Coming
Yeah,
up.
right on. Oh, that's right in my
Coming up.
wheelhouse.
Because
On the
yesterday
docket.
I was dying
pumped.
yesterday. I'm like, can we bench? And he's like, we gotta save
We
it
gotta
for
save
tomorrow.
it. We gotta save it. So we'll do something, either bench press or push-ups.
You gonna bench with us,
We get to
Lake?
lay down.
You
But
gonna
it's
bench
true.
press?
We do enough of everything to where there's
Right.
like not even like anxiety towards it or whatever
Right.
anymore. You know,
Oh, there's
just like
still
whatever, which
Oh,
is cool.
all the
Yeah.
anxiety.
I mean, kind of, but at the same time,
Yeah,
not at
true.
all. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
true.
Like,
What's different right now that the games are coming and you guys are actually kind of in full-on games mode? Just intensity's gone up and...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been in kind of a games mode since January.
Yeah.
With this new system and trying to figure it out. That's what we were trying to figure out this year's, while Chyna's here, trying to figure out next year, like what are our sanctionals we're going to go to? What are the,
What
things-
route are we gonna take?
Yeah.
Probably do a couple, even if we qualify at the first one. Just to,
good experience.
Yeah, it's good experience. It's good exposure. It's it's fun to actually get together and compete. That's one thing I do kind of like about this sanctional thing is that you can go to a couple different ones and have some fun and compete. And, because that's what we are, is we're competitors. And wasn't great about being on a team was the open. You weren't doing anything team.
Yeah.
Right.
Regionals was cool because it was a competition, but there was so much riding on regionals
Right.
that it made it super stressful. These sanctionals are still super stressful because you're only getting one team to go, but if you qualify at another one, it makes the other ones a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
So, it just gives us more opportunities to compete, which I think is a good thing and helps us out.
It's fun for us to get to watch, too, because unless you're at regionals or at the games, you don't get to really see you guys in full competition mode, and now there are multiple opportunities to really get to see you compete and have that experience. And
the hard part is going to be figuring out like when to peak, what's off season, what that's why we want to kind of look at this year because all the sanctionals have been announced and try to figure out what's going to happen and where we need to go and what maybe have a couple months between each one that we can kind of have a little bit of break after we compete.
Right.
Take a week or two, reset, because this year's been kind of like
Go.
go the entire time since January. Chyna wasn't with us and Kristen was with us on the first one, but we've all, Independence and Freedom have both been going since November.
Yeah.
And so it's chaos, but it's been good.
it's different, but it's, the learning process, I guess, is what you're saying, kind of really getting it sorted out so you know.
Yeah, but this year they kind of kept like adding sanctionals and stuff like as the year progressed, so that made it really challenging. And like you said, they've already announced all of them, so you can kind
there's
of
supposed to be more too,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I think
32.
I think so. I think eventually they're going to have more. So.
Yeah. But
That's cool. Yeah, it's good to kind of
And
have a
pretty cool.
roadmap.
We get to, we're going to host one.
yeah.
Yeah, can you talk about what that is a little bit? Are you ready to talk about that?
Yeah,
or-
we can talk. Everything's good to go. Like, you can say one thing. All right. That was your one moment. Now go away.
You're a
Beat
star.
it, nerd. Beat it, nerd. Yeah, we're going to host a sanctional, I think it's January 11th and 12th. It's whatever that weekend is. It's going to be 2 days. It'll be only individuals. I don't want to program team competition while I'm still competing on a team. Even if we didn't qualify, I still wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. Even though I feel like I have a decent background programming team workouts.
Yeah.
But we're going to go only individual. Looking like right now it's going to be 32 men, 32 women.
Qualifier?
Qualifying through the Open this year.
Oh, through the Open. Oh.
Because that's in October. And then the next year we'll have probably our own online qualifier. But this year we're just going to do the Open. But it'll be relatively small. I mean, you're only going to have, like I said, 32, so 64 total athletes.
Okay. Including masters and...
No, we're not doing any masters, anything. It's
gonna be
just
tight.
straight individual games qualifier. So it'll be kind of fun. We can do a lot more. It'll be similar to Rogue-ish, to where not nearly the size. Like they did everything above and beyond. We're going to try to make it as nice as we can. But,
Right.
we're going to do it at the gym. Well, one event will probably be somewhere else off-site, but that'll be posted at a later date. But having it at the gym, it'll be a lot smaller. I think it'll be a lot more intimate for fans to see. So. We're only going to probably have a couple hundred tickets when we do open that up. That's another thing we're trying to figure out right now. We had a meeting last week. We've got pretty much programming's dialed in. A couple small changes we'll probably make along the way there, but it's moving along. So looking forward to it. It'll be fun. I'm excited to actually be on the other side of, I know eventually that's, I still want to be involved with the sport in some way or with, exercise competition in some way, and so this is probably one way I can still be involved moving down the road. So it'll be
You're
it'll be
competing
fun to
when
do.
you're in a walker. You're fine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when they have the competitions
Tennis
in the
ball.
walkers, tennis ball, walker, and walker squats. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Just to I like to program and to see that side of it. That's kind of that's the specialty I'm taking on for the weekend. Everybody else is doing all the hard work. But, I mean, I guess we do have to test the workout, so that is not the easy work either.
Right.
It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Man,
Have
for
fun with
Mustard
that, Kristen.
Seed, a couple of the events that we've had, really kind of have showcased that it can be done, and it was really a good experience.
Yep. Yeah, we'll still have Mayhem for Mustard Seed in April, and that'll be kind of, the general population, and everybody can join in on that.
Yep.
But
That's so fun.
this will literally be, 64 athletes, and we're trying to figure out how I'm not sure how they did it last year, but we're going to see if we can create a separate scoreboard, and so whoever wants to compete for the Mayhem Invitational, they would put that into their score.
I'm
I'm not
sure
sure
you
how
could
you
do
do
that,
that, but yeah, we're trying to figure all that stuff out. But
That's awesome.
Looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
That's going to be really cool.
That's exciting.
CrossFit's a really unique experience in Cookeville, Tennessee. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's a fun place to come. And
Small.
Yeah.
Small, like Cookeville's it's not as small as people think, I don't think, but it's still relatively cozy around here. It's cheap. Everything in Cookeville's cheap.
And
too.
the gym's such a cool place.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool place. It's a great facility. So,
Yeah, looking forward to it. It'll be fun. Well, it'll be fun to watch.
and so all the
Won't be doing
all the
workouts.
programming is top secret then.
Pretty top secret.
Pretty
I've
top
got-
secret.
Some of these guys know some of the stuff.
Right. I've heard whispers, but we'll keep it
Whispers.
quiet.
Yeah, keep it quiet.
I like it. And it's going to be January in Tennessee.
January 11th.
so-
Really? It's
yeah,
one
so
of
it
the
might be a
first
little
ones.
chilly, but one of the outdoor events might be a little chilly. We'll have one outdoor event, and everything else will be inside.
Well, can I say that there was like the whole river swim thing, where you swim with the river?
Yeah, we don't want to tell
I
them
thought
that.
it was
Oh, you wanna
capture
say
the
that?
gator.
Capture the gator.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Capture the gator.
Do the Tosh thing, go from my house to Dad's house through the woods, and then swim through the pond at freezing cold. You weren't there for that yet, right, Kristen?
No.
I
yeah.
watched that on whatever I watched it on.
Yeah, it was fun.
I can't imagine.
That looked
It was
terrible.
cold.
Doing, like-
It was miserably cold.
Wow. That's a great story.
Man.
Maybe there should be some, what do they call it, orienteering?
Orienteering,
Give them a compass.
Yeah.
And,
Oh. I think, honestly, everybody was kind of mad about the Rogue event. Not mad, but I had some people who were like, how is putting a cart together fitness?
was
And I was like, I thought it was great.
I thought that event was probably my
actually,
favorite event.
Yeah.
Seeing people fold under, trying to build something that we'd already built. We knew how to build it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
they
told us
gave us the
exactly how to build
opportunity,
it.
Yeah,
and
we all
watching
had-
Dre just melt and
Oh my God.
really?
like Dre,
That's
we
the
like
best
Calm
story.
down.
calm down, put put the poles down, do your job.
Yeah.
Do your job.
We
and
each
it was
had a
just
job,
like,
yeah.
his job was not what he started out doing. He's just standing there with these poles. And I'm like, Dre,
No.
put it down.
Put the
like,
tire and the washer.
it was so
Yeah.
funny
Oh
just
my
to
God.
see him.
I didn't realize they taught you how to build the
They
cart.
let us the day
Yeah.
before. They let us,
Yeah.
they told us how to build it.
Right.
And then
Let us, like,
they
drag
let
it
us
around a little.
play
Yeah.
around with it the day before.
Yeah.
And so we knew exactly how to build it.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, all right, here's the deal. After we go, I'll get the axle, I'll get the poles, we'll get it ready. Chyna, Dre, you get wheels, washers, and clips because they're all in a pile. And Tasia,
do the
use
net.
the net. Don't touch anything else, Tasia. and so, we do our rope climbs, we come back, and Dre just grabs the axle and the poles. And I'm like,
He's supposed to grab tires
Dre,
and washers.
what are you doing? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, put it down. Well, he starts trying to put the axle in, and he
Yep.
put it upside down.
Yep.
I'm like, and then Tasia's like, I can't. The clips won't work. And I'm like,
no.
okay, calm down. I still don't know how we came off third off of that either.
Oh,
Me
it's
neither.
amazing.
Because Dre, it was just like we talked it out. I'm like, all right, here's what we do: 3, 2, 1, go. Rope climbs.
And we're like, slow is fast. Don't be frantic.
And
It's
Dre
fine.
just immediately is like, what do I do? I wanted to kill him.
That's really funny. So he has the least amount of experience now
Yeah.
when it comes to you guys.
Yeah.
Obviously have
Games,
multiple
yeah,
game
yeah.
stuff. Tasia's been there, so
He's got a lot of regional
Yeah.
stuff, but he doesn't have the games experience. But it'll be fun. It'll be you just got to kind of like, hey, look at me.
Yeah.
It's okay. Calm down. But
Has each one of the teams, because obviously they have taken on different personalities, and so the different people that have come and gone over the years.
Yeah.
What's it like now in comparison with the four of you guys? And
it's pretty similar, I think. I think
It's
that
like the leadership thing, I think. It
yeah,
kinda
I think it
trickles
just
down.
kind of like everybody. Everybody's obviously completely different individuals, but the team identity is pretty close to the same. It's like everybody just kind of does their thing and does what they need to do, no questions asked, and it's been pretty similar. Obviously the first year was a little bit different. Having the first 2 years, I guess, with 6 or however many years it was with 6, and versus 4 is a lot different, but. Still, and I mean, really, if you look at the two teams, from up above, they're very similar, like
Right.
demeanors and everything like that. It's just we all get along and attracts the similar type of person. So it's good. It's fun. Team's a whole lot more fun.
That's
Individual sucks. I don't like it anymore.
That's it's really interesting that you guys say that, because that's really interesting perspective, because I wouldn't have really thought
just
you were
gets-
going to say it was harder, actually.
I think it's harder.
It's different because
personally.
you have to go at somebody else's pace usually.
Yeah.
Like
Hard
when-
for you. Not
well,
hard for you. Hard for me.
Well, what I'm saying is like when
Well,
I would take a break
yeah.
on something may not
Yeah,
be when
yeah,
you would
exactly.
take a break on
Absolutely.
something, or like how I would break up reps may not be how
No,
you want to break up
definitely.
reps.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some talk of like, hey,
What
you
can
know,
you manage? What
yeah,
can I manage?
What
and
can we do here? And like let's
corroborate?
compromise, and so
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
that's kind of the hard part about it. You'd think, oh, we're sharing reps, it's not going to be that hard.
No,
but,
we're not. Rich
but
just does them all.
no, well, we talked about this because
Last night I got kind
she
of
got heated, but it's true because like on the Rogue event where we did muscle ups,
I was like, come
thrusters,
on.
box jump overs, and snatches. First of all, we screwed up the whole strategy of that workout because we
Besides
should have
the
had
point.
Tasia and Dre go first. But anyway,
It was like 50, 50, 50, 20.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
and so I did 30 of the muscle ups,
I did 20.
and then she did 30 of the thrusters, which I was completely fine with. And so that's one thing you got to do is let your ego go. I guess commentators
Yeah.
were like, Rich is doing all the work and blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
And then we
actually
did
not.
the box jump overs and he's shaking his legs out. They're like, maybe Chyna should do something. He's looking kind of tired. And I was like,
And then we smashed everybody. So we were like we were a ways ahead of anybody
Yeah,
in the
Yeah,
whole
you
heat.
guys were.
yeah.
And then,
It didn't matter though.
no, it didn't matter. That was completely worthless. So there's some strategy stuff that we learned and need to clean up. But
I've never seen really a workout like that.
They did one similar in, well, no, not really even similar because, yeah, I guess it was. At regionals a couple years ago, it was like a bunch
Too
of
stressful.
snatches, some rope climbs, and some thrusters. And we did the similar thing where
like a waterfall?
Yeah. But it should have been two separate scored events, like our
Yeah,
time
yeah,
and then
plus
the other
that
time
time,
should
yeah.
have been, because all it mattered was the muscle ups.
Yeah.
It's just hard, and somebody reached out to me and was like, how do you recommend we clean up the programming for some of these sanctionals, and I was like, there's got to be some type of committee that oversees and looks at, let the sanctional program the workouts, but you need to somebody has to say. I mean, I'm sure CrossFit is looking at them, but there still needs to be a committee of either athletes, some coaches, some level one, a mix of different, and some of these directors that have been directors of regionals and stuff like that. However, the deal is how do you compensate that committee? How do you keep that committee from gaining too much power or say telling certain athletes and so that's what just sucks is it's hard to figure out this system because that's another thing we're going to look at when we try to decide what sanctionals we go to is how was the programming. If it was crappy programming, I'm not because you can really, especially individual, you can kind of get around crappy programming, but team if it's super biased towards one type of athlete or one type of team, then you can't get around it. It's a little bit different. So it's tough. But
there's a ton of opportunity, which is cool. You just have to kind of navigate it and pick out where you want to be. And
after after a couple of years, you'll kind of see a history of what the programming looks like and stuff like that. But it's still, even after 1 year, you can tell, hey, these people know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. So it'll be good. All right. That's an hour.
Crushed it.
Nailed it.
Hey, don't want to forget to say June 30th.
June 30th.
Mayhem Mindset course opens again.
Okay.
So people that are interested in that, it's going to be available.
Check it out. What else do we have? RP Strength app. What else? That's it, pretty much, right?
CrossFitMayhem.com.
Good for you, CrossFit.com.
Sure.
There you go. Get you a Chyna shirt.
There you go.
All right. Peace. Episode 69.
Oh, 69.